A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all on frequency today from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India, hosting today's net on the DATV channel. We have a number of people to welcome today, people we haven't seen for some time. Firstly, we want to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for assisting us and allowing us the opportunity to come onto their wonderful satellite. We also wish to thank Amsat DL and Peter DB20S for all the work he did to get this brainchild of his off the ground, literally to speak. And we also want to thank all the guys for coming up. Today we have quite a big net. I'll just put the net, let me just get this onto the screen and then we can see it a lot easier. There we go. And I'm just going to, if you do want to participate as a transmitting station on this frequency, we suggest that you go to that link there, https, that nice one in blue, and then you can come onto the net. Firstly, hello to Mike, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey. He says lack of progress, but we'll see. There's not such a thing with Mike. And then G8KOE, Martin, hi again. G4IMO to take it from you there, Nick. Hi, Nick. You say you have not a lot to say today. Well, let's see. And then hello to Peter, Golf Whiskey 7 Bravo Zulu Yankee in Wales. And to Dave, Mike 5 Tango X-Ray Juliet. And I saw you a bit earlier. Looked as though your gear was working fine. Hello to Ed, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November in Brazil. To Brian, a Golf 6 Hotel Foxtrot Sugar or Sierra. He says he's only got one over today. Benno in Holland or Netherlands, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray. And then Rog, very, very nice to see you again with your mobile DATV station. It's the envy of the satellite world. Papa Uniform 2 Radio Quebec Victor. I also want to take the opportunity of thanking Matt, Mike Zero at Delta Quebec Whiskey, for his TechMind program that he runs on YouTube, very successful one. And he had a condensed version or an edited version of last week's net, and he placed it on his TechMinds program. So thanks to you there, Matt. Got a lot of publicity as a result of that and a lot of interest in DATV. So excellent on that one. Let me just take these two things off here quickly so that we can see where we're going. Right. First on the list will be you, Mike. Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey to take it from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. To take it.
Quality really, and we have enough carriage noise for most people at the beacon level, which after all is 4/5, so we should be okay. Anyway, yeah, I said that I didn't have much things to talk about. I hoped to be showing you the caribou light working, but it isn't. The other thing I've done, and I keep looking in the wrong place because I've moved the camera, is moved the camera to give a slightly different view, hopefully a slightly better one, slightly higher up. And I've moved the polycom into another position as well. So let me just move over to the bench. Well, actually, no, that's the polycom, so it's looking at a different direction, but it'll do the same thing. It can zoom in on the caribou light, and you can see that there, hopefully, sitting on top of a Raspberry Pi Zero. Unfortunately, the software doesn't work. I did manage to get it to do something, very briefly, whereby it, here's another view of it, whereby it managed to produce a tone at 1 gigahertz, but that's all I've managed to do so far. So this is just going to have to wait. It's only software. The hardware is okay, I believe, so just waiting for it to be sorted out. So that was one thing that I was planning to talk about and didn't. The other thing though is a Surface Pro. So now the question is, can I persuade the cameras to come onto a different setting? So firstly, let's have another look at me whilst I try and turn the camera around. And I've got to decide which one I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use preset camera 2. And hopefully, there we go. You're not seeing this yet because I haven't switched over to it, so let's just switch over to it. See the back of my head, lack of hair and everything. But this is the thing that I was going to talk about, which is Surface Pro. And John, G7JTT, discovered these, so it's nothing to do with me in terms of finding stuff, but really good. Because the point about them is they're cheap. They're incredibly cheap at the moment on eBay. I think there's been a load of them have been chucked out of various companies. Anyway, what it is a Windows tablet, and I'll turn it on just so you can see that it works. But they're good enough to do the H.265 encoding. So with one of those, for really not very much money at all, rather than trying to get a graphics card, you can actually use those if you can't afford to buy a PC and a graphics card. So I thought it would be useful to point that out. Now I've been testing it, and with DATV Easy, it's getting on the limits of what it can do, but it can do it, and it produces pictures which are not quite as good as these. They tend to get a bit more blocky, but you know they're okay. They're not bad. So definitely worth looking at. The price, by the way, is about €200. So that's really good value for what is effectively a Windows 10 tablet 5 years old or 6 years old. Okay, I don't think I have got very much else to say this time round. I might say something more next time round. So I'm going to pass it on to Martin. G8 KOE, round to you. G0MJW.
Right, thanks then, Mike. Yeah, I'm running 2/3 still, not running 3/4. Kill the audio. I wasn't going to change anything. I didn't realise that was the new trend, although I've probably not got quite as much power as others available. That's a limit, I think. I might better get a tad more, but not much more. What have I been up? So that's the bracket of the dish. But hopefully that'll screw onto the wall. I'll bolt onto the wall and do the business. What else I've been playing with is on the prime focus dish that I've got. I thought I'd revisit the lenses and things. With the Potty, it came with this thing as the lens. And let's see, what did I did put some numbers down on a piece of paper. Looking at the beacon and the way I've got it set at the moment, if I stick that in, actually probably better if I show what the well, no, you know what the feeds look, but sticking that in, it's about 3.8 dB it goes down to. So I thought, well, I did get I couldn't get a red one, but I did get a white one. Whether they're the same, I don't know, but I've never seen a red one, but that's what the white ones look like. So I popped that on, and that gave me about 9.3. And with my little flange addition to the, let's go to the pictures. That's obviously what my potty looked like. Putting the little flange on. This little piece here gives me a little bit more. And with that on, it's about 9.8. But all non-technical as far as I'm concerned. I just fiddle and diddle. So that's really what I've been up to, mainly rearranging things. It's like a lot of the equipment in the garage, which I don't use anymore, or haven't used, shall we say, for the last year. Never anybody on 77s that I can work, other than if someone's come down here locally, which Dave did do, on one of the hills. And also on 23 Thames for very little activity. So I've actually taken the pole down with the aerials on. So and I shall probably get rid of the PAs that I had sitting there doing nothing. The other thing I've had problems with is the laptop. It's a Dell laptop. Just new. Got it so as I could do a bit of ATV from sitting on my lap and sort of streaming it through, etc. But the camera's been intermittent, of all things. It's there, then it's not there. If you look in the device manager, you'll find that there's 2 errors that appear. I say 2, sometimes 1, and the camera is not available. If you delete them and reboot, the camera quite often becomes available. But I got my son to do it, but he spent 2 hours on the web on chatting to Dell, running through all the diagnostics, etc. and that. So they decided that they'd replace the screen with the camera in, which engineer came out and did. And I played with it all day and couldn't get it to go wrong. Then about 10 o'clock in the evening, I sat down and switched it on, and the same thing happened. So they're now replacing the motherboard. Whether that's going to cure it, I don't know. But they wouldn't replace the laptop, but they replaced the screen, and they're now going to replace the motherboard. So we'll see how we go on that one. Right, I think it's I did mess my pad around. Oh, it's Nick next, isn't it? So get ready then, Nick, and I'll pass it to you in a minute. I don't think I've got any much more to add at the moment. But yeah, thanks to Mike for his advice last week, and I did order another set potty which comes with its own lens. Whether that's going to be good, whether the lens is that like this one, that is designed for a offset, not a prime focus, I don't know. Mike will come back with lots of information on the next time round and show me the errors and my ways. Right, let's get ready for put a little test code up there, Nick, and then it's over to you. So see for IMO to take it from G8KOE.
Yeah, okay, okay, Martin. Yeah, okay, Martin. I'm just checking my audio there. I've wound it up a little bit, but it's still lower than everybody else. So next time I will turn it up. Right, what am I doing here? Right. Yes, I was on FEC of 3/4, but I saw on the chat that Peter said that Mike's signal was dropping out, so I don't know whether he was struggling. So I've gone back to 2/3. So hopefully that will help. I'm just checking my signal here. Yeah, that's okay. Yes, sorry, I haven't been on for a while. I haven't been very well. So, but anyway, hopefully on the mend now. Okay, right. Okay, answering in reverse order. Yeah, yeah, Martin, that little white lens that you had, which you've taken off the front of the rocket, that is identical to the red one, which I use here. And so it works extremely well. I was a little bit confused, surprised. The picture of your potty, where the copper pipe comes through the potty, so it passes through the reflector and then it goes past the driven plate. I've only got about 3 or 4 millimeters of copper pipe actually there, and I've put the lens over that, on the top of that. But it looks like you've got a substantial amount of copper pipe there. Anyway, that's that. What else was I going to say? Yes, Martin, your 6.8 MER. That's what it was showing, and I'm showing 6.5 at the moment. So it seems to be working anyway. Yeah, okay, Mike, on that caribou. Have I pronounced that right? Caribou light. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, the thing that worries me here, I've only got one Pluto, so if ever it failed and it wasn't repairable, it would be quite expensive to replace. I think they're about £200 now. So I need to find, I don't know, a spare or something. But touch wood, it's been behaving itself anyway. It's a very grey afternoon here. In fact, it's been grey all morning. Temperature's about 9 degrees outside, but it's pretty miserable here in the UK. In fact, we've decided to arrange for a holiday this year. We haven't been out to the Philippines for about 5 years now. So we're flying out there end of June, and we'll be coming back October time. So I'm looking forward to that. What we usually do, we have to make our way to the train station here, and then struggle all the way down to King's Cross Station on the train with our suitcases, and then all the way across the underground to Heathrow with the suitcases. But this year I've noticed that Stansted Airport, which is sort of fairly local to me, and are doing flights now to the Philippines. So all we got to do is to make our way to the local station here, which is at March, which is about 15-20 minutes away. Hop on the train, that'll take us straight to the airport. So that should work out quite well. That's good. The flight's got a stopover in Dubai, so that should be interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What else is there? I was going to let me just show you this. Last time I was out in the Philippines, the house I was staying at, our internet went off, so we reported it, and this man with a ladder came out to repair it. Where are we? There we go. There's the man up the ladder with his ladder resting on the overhead wires. But he is wearing a hard hat. But I was thinking, if he's relying on the wires holding him up, so if the wires were to break, he would end up in the road and he'd probably get run over. But he managed to repair it anyway. But I think the health and safety rules out there aren't quite the same as we have here in the UK. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Oh, Mike, I was listening to the AMSAT net on QO-100 this morning, and heard you on there, and you mentioned about there was a lift on. So when you went down to 2 meters, I had a listen, and on my vertical here, I heard you. So your signal on 144.3, or in fact you went down to 0.29 in the end, but was making its way here up to Wisbeach on the single sideband this morning. So yeah, quite a lift on. Right, the only other thing to report is SAQ, the heritage site in Sweden. They were going to do a transmission over, was it Christmas Eve? I think that got cancelled because of the COVID. But there's going to be another broadcast on February the 13th, which is tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, February the 13th tomorrow on 17.2 kilohertz. So I've never heard that. So I shall listen on my my SDR receiver here for the first time and see if I can hear it. I've got an assortment of aerials to try here, so see if I can hear that. I think they're sort of winding it up at about 2:30, and they're going to make the actual Morse transmission at about 3 o'clock UTC. So, but I shall see if I round to Peter. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think it dropped out there. Anyway, round to you, Peter. GW7 BZY G4 IMO.
Okay, apologies for everybody. Long ramble, no audio. Thank you, Gary. Okay, apologies for everybody. Long ramble, no audio. Thank you, Gary. Next time, DW7BZY over to Sugar.
M5TXJ. Hopefully I've got audio. Seems so. Right. Afternoon, everybody. Apologies for my dishevelled appearance. I was on a 21:30 to 09:30 night shift last night, and I've had a couple of hours sleep, but I thought I must get on the net, as I've been missing the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it looks like I'm working. Hopefully the lip sync's okay too. I've had nightmares this week with my ports down. I've managed to get the network adapter to work, but it connects to the Pluto from the network, but I can't get any RF out, and I'm thinking it's the firmware version on the Pluto. I'm using the For the Brave because it's a ports down stroke Langstone, and it needs the For the Brave firmware. So at the moment I've got DATV, I think it's version 2.09, and I've tried all the different firmware settings. It just says Pluto, or I think it's version 0201 or 0303. I've tried all three of those, and the 0201, the PTT relay activates when it's receiving video, but with all versions I'm getting no RF, so I've gone back to the original configuration today. So yeah, I'm in the same position as Nick, with only having one Pluto. In other things, I believe Peter was talking about space from the chat. Yeah, I'm a big space fan. I've been for years and years. I think I must have been about 4 or 5 when I started watching what I could on, well, it was mainly listening on the radio to news of the Geminis. My grandfather taught me to read when I was 3 by reading newspapers, and I don't know, things sort of hooked me. And one of the nicest, but one of the most embarrassing moments happened at Kennedy, about 2000, when walking under the Saturn V that is hung from the ceiling there. I met one of the astronauts, and all I could do was cry on his shoulder. But yeah, it's something I spend a lot of time following. And for those who have an interest like me, I hope you've all watched Tim Dodds with his report from Stoke Space. Yeah, a new startup company, been going about 18 months, building a fully reusable rocket using aerospike technology. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, Tim Dodds, the everyday astronaut, for them with an interest. And I've had a little bit of good news, I think, this week. I've signed up to something called B4RN, Bravo for Romeo November. Where I live, which you'll see shortly, we're quite remote, and my internet fibre, on a good day I get 17 megabytes down and 1 megabyte up. And B4RN is broadband for rural neighbourhoods, and it's full fibre and it's gigabit both ways, but it needs decent take-up in the area for them to do it. And I heard at the end of this last week that there's been a planning meeting and now they're meeting again in 2 weeks to discuss the route. So that sounds like it's going ahead, which is brilliant news. Right, last week I was watching while at work and people were showing their setups. So with no further ado, and apologies for crap camera work and crap host, here we go. So I've got a port down, which is in bits at the moment because I'm doing more of the PA drivers and preamps for the Langstone part of it. Up above that's power supply and 23 SEMS PA, and then up in the corner there is my PA for QO-100. You may just see the feeder disappearing through the wall. Now with that I shall switch over to another picture, which is when I was building the shack. Apologies for the colour of the paint. The wife decided that if I was going to have a shack, then she would choose the colour of the paint. But you may be able to see that the wall is actually a false wall about 18 inches from the real wall, and that allows storage and also for all the cables and everything. So the output of the PA goes through that wall, then up in the gap into the roof space, where it appears on the outside at the left hand end of that red line, and that comes through the wall from the shack along the front of the house and up to the dish. So there's about 15 meters of LDF 450 in total. That's inside the PA. Very simple. One of the Nokia pallets run at 32 volts with a 28 volt buck converter for the bias, and a relay on the bias line, which is no longer used. That's the driver now. This feeds the ubiquitous potty with an offset mount, courtesy of Mike MJW, to a 4-way LNB. The LNB feeds a ride in the sitting room and a winter hill in the shack and a nooker in the shack for DVB-T. And as I said, a rural location. This is the view from the roof. I took a photo when I was installing a new aerial for 2 meters and 70 SEMS. The previous photo was taken from the gate, the one showing the front of the house. Just out of sight on the left is a barn conversion, where you can see the end of it. Just out of sight to the right, you can see a car in the drive. There's a bungalow, and about 150 yards off screen to the left is the next house, and the next nearest to us from those is about a mile away. So yeah, the house about 150 yards away, yeah, is somebody who knows Gary, our neighbour Mike, who used to live not far from Gary. So that's the kind of area I live, and that's the sort of gear. Right, I shall put it round to Ed. Papa Yankee 2, Romeo November. This is Mike 5 Tango X-Ray Juliet.
CQDX. Oh, looks like Ed's got a problem. I'll pick it up. G6HFS. Alright, good afternoon all. First like to start off by saying afternoon to Nick, G4IMO. A long way up, a long way down. Yeah, as the crow flies, we're only 40 odd miles apart. Anyway, good afternoon. Long way of doing something. What have I been up to? A couple of little things. I couldn't fit this ice cream cone on the dish because it hit the metalwork. So, as I'm not putting it on an LMB yet, I just made a little adapter up which offsets a bit of standard 22mm pipe. That should sort that out, hopefully, he says. So that's what's been happening my end. The other little project I've been doing is for the local group, which is a little TCOXO upgrade for the Pluto. There you see it on the right, quite a nice clipped waveform, and the scope is on 20 millivolts, but it's a times 10 probe, so it's about 0.82 of a volt. So got that one working. The only other things I've done is this is now all boxed up. The amp, in actual fact, it's just clicked on the fans. Nearly the same as the dual pallet. Get about 100 watts a side. There's a bias relay that I can enable, so when I do it remotely I can switch. That's about my fun and games. There's a proof of the pudding, as they say, for the amplifier. This is before it actually goes to the other end of the LDF 450, which is only about a 6 metre run. That's potty, and that's a picture of the finished amp. Oh, there's it mounted. Forgot that one was in there. So that's the amp. Temp sensors, 3-speed fans, and the sensor will switch it to high. So that's basically the setup here. It's just reading on 100 watts there, as you can see. It's come up this time. So that's about it from me. I've got all the cabling through now from the shack and out to the dish, whereas before it was just running out the shack door and out of the garage door. So hopefully that's alright. Anyway, I think that's my turn to put it round to
Okay, let's see if I have audio. Okay, let's see if let's switch off. I always get complaints of shouting too loud. I always try to use my voice to reach the other side of the world, but today I will try to keep it a little bit down. I already see my nose is now gone. Let's see if I can go to a better cam. Okay, well, keep it up for this. This should be the best solution now. Greetings to you guys all in the world, in the north, the south, the east and the west. Great signals, but I wonder why audio always is keeping a problem. like Gary, I use myself a camera, which is just down here, which is, oops, and that was my camera setup. Okay, well, I'm back. And this microphone is always switched on, and I can see it on, and if I move around from cameras and settings and things like that, my audio stays on, and so I can swap around from my one camera to another without losing my audio. It seems that a lot of people have using the audio from the cameras, but it's maybe a good idea to have a separate audio channel and just look at the bar in OBS or in vMix occasionally if you're still having audio, and watch the chat as well. Going back, Brian, I have seen the dual pellet amplifier, and I wonder if you're going to combine those. I understand they are both capable of doing over 100 watts. You're using probably one, and the other will be just sitting next to it until one is broken. Or are you planning to combine both? I understand with 100 watts shouldn't be, the other one is not necessary anymore. But if you combine the both, you have at least all the possibilities and put the drive quite a bit lower. So I wonder if you're going to combine it and how you are going to do that. Because, well, obviously in the DATV Net we had a small discussion about combining amplifiers and combining signals, and well, maybe that's the idea to do well, I wonder what your plans are there, Brian. For the setup, I'm using a 1.8 meter dish, and I think due to the wind it's a little bit off now, because I get only 8 dB or something from the beacon, so I need to go out and maybe retune it and find a nice day for doing that. Could be doing that today because it's quite nice weather, quiet weather, no wind, and I think that is that is basically what I am using. Using all kind of different setups. There's currently a Pluto running over the network via a Raspberry to OBS and DATV Easy. Well, I have okay, I understand, Brian. Keeping the other one for use for spare. Yeah, that's an idea. I have thought about that because I have a very similar one, having two, and I'm still wondering what I'm going to do with that one. But it's an extra one for me, so I still wonder what I'm going to do that with that one, and it's still just lying on the shelf for use. Okay, what I'm at my other side, and I'm not going to swap things. This is the back of a telephone, and this is my magic project this week, probably. It's my daughter's telephone. It's just an Android telephone, Poco Xiaomi one from AliExpress. Well, it came out of in Holland somewhere, but they are well known on AliExpress. Well, anyway, it stopped charging and replacing the cable and the charger didn't do the trick, so we ended up replacing one of these. I can take it off, which is the USB-C plug on the bottom. It's only a few euros. You take off the back, which is glued, and you replace that one, and I could charge it again. So you replace one of these, and it's not really difficult, using YouTube as your guide. Oh, it was about 30 minutes, and I think I was ready, so I charged it completely up to 100%, gave it back to my daughter, and she tried to charge it, and it doesn't work anymore. So now it's back to almost 0%, and it's back on my bench in order to find what's going on. And I wonder if because there is a piece of electronics on the original board, on the board which contains the USB-C, and I wonder if the charger is breaking the board. Well, magic. I will figure out. I will put some meter on it. I just took off the back again, which again was glued. So that's on my bench and to-do list for today. Besides that, I'm still working on my big project, and I'm not going to show you because it's off my bench at the moment, making space for the telephone. And but I'm in the project, in the process of putting all the wires in and connecting everything together. So I'm going to be able to swap and power up all the the various bands. So yes, a new telephone is an idea. My girlfriend actually told me that. That's actually an idea. The problem, as you all know, if you're going to replace one of those, you have about, well, not a very expensive thing. It's like 150, 200 euros. But still, there is a lot of money. But the biggest problem is obviously what's on there. I mean, the photos are on there. They are never backed up, obviously. The SD card is not in. So it's all on the memory here. And the photos needs to be coming back. And after that, all the programs, all the settings, all the authenticator possibilities, all those kinds. Even more important, the WhatsApp. It's all on there. So I give it another try, and otherwise that will be the the message in the end. But it's not a matter of replacing it, it's a matter of getting all the programs and all the settings back in order when you have a new telephone. And I know that from heart because this telephone is about 1 year old, and I'm still not capable in doing the same things which I did with my previous telephone. By the way, this is my telephone. I just got a new screen for 15 euros. I'm not going to bother for a new screen. Okay, well, passing on the microphone, the frequency to Roke on his mobile setup. Roke, looking forward to you in the net, and hope your microphone is better than Ed's hi. Roke, Papa Uniform 2, Radio Quebec Victor, from Papa Alpha number 3, Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. Let's see if I have a test card. Yes, I have.
Okay, let me see if I can hear myself, first of all. See if I can hear myself, first of all. Alright. Alright. Thank you all of you. This is the first time I can make the transmission inside the truck.
and let me see if I have a mobile camera. Then I will show you guys how it is inside of the truck. I will try to climb on the top of the truck. I hope I don't fall live, and you're gonna have a chance to see how it is internally. Of course, it's a mess because I'm still working. It's a working in progress project, and so it's the first time. Yesterday I was able to transmit. I'm using right now 63 watts. Let me put a little bit more power for you. Let me see right now. Yes, 73 watts. I am using a feeder. Then I'm not happy. I'm gonna show you the feeder, and I will try another day the other feeder than Eduardo PY2 for Mil November. This one here. This has a how can I say, spiral feeder. Then maybe it's better than the one that I'm using right now. Okay, so I'm gonna try to show you guys now the truck internally. I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna increase the volume. Okay, and put the camera. All right, this is the camera. Okay, basically what we have here, we have two stations. One station here is for DATV. You can see the two screens over there, and on my right you can see here the spectrum analyzer. This is going to be fixed on the truck. It helped me to debug a lot of issues that I had in the past. We have here a national equipment that I'm not using right now. What I'm going to use with the national maybe is how you know, guys, there is a project in US called P-Phase 4D, and include the they are doing what they're doing. They are putting a transmission on FPGA of DVB S2, so I may be able to get the code, which is a free code, and put here in one of this processor and be able to transmit using the national, using the FPGA code from the guys, which is open source. Okay, here we have the power. I'm using right now 72.4 watts. So you have the back of the truck. Of course, we have some HTs, some radios to be able to synchronize. This is a mess, I'm sorry. Okay, coming back, we have an internal network. This network is fed by a Starlink. So this truck can be anywhere, then I'll be able to receive the internet signal. Here we have the antenna pointing device, which I'm not happy right now. It's totally manually, and I'm planning to do it automatically in the future. This is the station for SSB, and here we have a computer for receiving the signal. I'm planning to use, you know, the Raspberry in the future. All right. So I'm gonna go out of the truck at this moment, and maybe my voice, because I'm using only one microphone, I was not able to use the microphone from Droid. So if you don't hear me, don't worry. I'm gonna step out of the truck to show you guys how it's outside. Oh, of course I have one camera, Logicam, and another camera, Logicam here. All right, here we go. I hope I don't fail. Okay, I hope I was able to show you. I hope it was not too quickly, but this is the best I can do with the mobile camera that I have here. Of course, I'm operating over the PY2 SAT, which is a special call sign. Then Eduardo got from the Brazilian Amateur Radio Society here. And 1 second. Okay. Let me see if my voice is getting back. Okay, yeah, it's getting back. I think this is all for today. Okay. All right, guys. This is my transmission for today. I hope you all had a chance to see the mobile truck. How I said, it's a work in progress. Oh my gosh, my power. Oh, reduce a little bit. No, it's too much power. I don't need all of that. One of the things that I'm getting from the PA, it's getting too hot. It's getting too hot, so I may change and put the helix feeder from Eduardo. This is the new feeder that I'm gonna use. Eduardo said to me I may get it maybe 2 or 3 dB plus using this feeder instead of plain the other feeder. Then I hope to show you. Next time you do it, I make a movie before, then I can show more details of the PA and other sides here. Okay, let me see. I think I'm the last one. Let me see here. I believe so. I believe so. I'm last one. Coming back to Gary. Okay, this is Papa Yankee 2 Sierra Alpha Tango with Papa Uniform 2 Romeo Quebec Victor Hockey. That's all for.
Okay, Rogue. Beautiful. Fantastic. You had us worried at one stage. I thought, oh hell, he's fallen off. But fantastic. Excellent. Well done. I just want to see, Ed, do you want to start firing up your engines because you haven't had a decent turn? And I hope you've got OBS sorted. So Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, would you like to come aboard, please, Ed, from ZA6YI? You can pass it back to me.
Okay, Gary. Yeah, I fixed the audio. Hello, everybody. Greetings. Nice to see you all. And great images from everybody. And congratulations to Rocky for the work done on the truck. Despite that most of the work I have done, he just, it's just like a supervisor asking to do this, to do that. But it's working fine, great signal and great images. And I don't know if you guys realize that Rock is using a very unusual setup. He's transmitting DATV with the SDR Angel, and he's not using Pluto. I think he's using another SDR as a Nuend SDR. So very interesting setup at the moment. But that's fine, guys. I don't have much to present. I'm just working in some updates on my QO-100 guide. So probably by next week it's gonna be ready. I have setups for SSB and DATV, and I'm gonna make available next week, and so probably gonna put the link to download on the participation list here for the worldwide DATV net, so you guys can download. And maybe I used to send this guide to people that you know, approach and say, hey, how can I start on QO-100? So usually people that doesn't have an idea where to start. So I just put some examples how they can start using QO-100. All right, so thank you very much. Nice net as usual. Back to Gary, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India from Papa Yankee 2 Radio November 73 to all.
Okay, Ed, yeah, that was a perfect over. Beautiful images from you, like usual. No problem to copy. And I'll tell you what, that little handbook you're producing will be very, very valuable, because there'll be many people that would like to read that. So a great bit of work been done. Rogi, excellent signal again, I must say. You got it all sorted. Yes, I know Ed worked, but you know, the important guy is the supervisor. On your own, you can't do much, but if you supervise, you can start a war. Anyway, very good indeed. And yeah, talking about building, Matty's busy. Mike Zero Delta Quebec Whiskey. He's building quite a nice setup where he'll have everything in one box. So he'll be able to do narrowband and wideband at the same time and receive it. Matt, the unit that I built can do both, except I didn't put the receiver in at that point, but I do have the receiver. It's actually lying here on the desk, which I want to build into a second version of that. Incidentally, talking about amplifiers, yesterday I did the transmission for the AMSAT DL guys, and it ran for about 6 hours, and in all that time, running at 500 kilo cymbals, my amplifier went to 22 degrees C, and it's right now at 19 degrees C, and it'll stay like that all day long. It reaches that 22 degrees and it doesn't go higher, even though you run it 24 hours a day. And the way I did it was simply by putting the amplifier onto a decent block of copper, and then I milled slots into the copper and put water, but it's chilled water. It comes from a temperature controller, which is refrigerated. We use them in injection molding tools to keep a tool at a certain temperature. So you've got quite a big fridge unit in there, refrigeration unit, so that you can cool down any water. And of course, it can get hot and heated by the amplifier's own heat. So you can regulate it to within about 1 or 2 degrees Celsius if you want to really go fine. I'm giving it about a 4-degree hysteresis, so I don't have the compressor on too often. But it works very well, and I'm quite happy with it. So there we go. Anyway, also listening is Dirk, ZS6 Delta Hotel. He's listening. And then, of course, Matt is also watching us. He also put a little smile on the YouTube link there. And then, Nick, sorry to hear about your illness, and I certainly hope you're going to recover fully and rapidly, so that you can enjoy your trip, for the upcoming trip to the Far East. And also, interesting, Dave, on that burn. And say hi to the Mike over there. I believe Mike lived very close to where I live. Crazy how small the world becomes with amateur radio. And yeah, Brian, that meter you have, I have one of them as well. I visited my daughter in the UK just after I became a grandfather for the second time with young William. And while I was there, I saw these meters for sale, so I bought one. And I wish I'd bought their whole stock. I think they only had about 5 left because you just can't get them now. They're not even manufactured anymore. But it's been a very, very good meter, especially for low power stuff. It can go up to about 20 watts, I think. I don't know if you've changed the system. Yeah, I'm going to do something slightly different, but I'll show you guys soon how to measure or how we intend measuring high power up to about 250 watts on this frequency, right down to milliwatts. So it won't be too long and we'll be done with that. I've just been extremely busy at the salt mine. I had a whole bunch of Australians over. We're busy expanding a certain factory. So I just haven't had time to play amateur radio, really. Even older Leon phoned me. He said, "Hey, where are you?" And that, I think, was yesterday. And he did say he wasn't going to be on today. Anyway, with that, I am going to go off because I've got another appointment coming up. And I want to thank everyone for coming up. It's been really great. And you got the 10. So have I, Brian, I don't know. I can go up to 20 watts, I think. I've got 3 switches. About 1 watt, I think 2 watt, or something like that. And I must actually get it out and have another look. But it has got a little slide switch that you can go 3 different power positions. Anyway, with that, I'm going to throw the ball in the air. I won't be coming back. I want to thank everyone for coming up. And I'll pass it to Mike. And then the sequence carries on as usual. Mike to Martin to Nick, Peter, Dave, I think, then Ed. And I think Brian said he's not coming back. He's just got one over. So perhaps you can pass it to Benno, if you don't mind, Ed, and then back to Rogue. So, and then that's it. So with that, to you, Mike, from ZA6 Yankee India. 732 all.
Put it back on so you can hear me. Lots of interesting things discussed in the past hour. So really good net this weekend. So great to see that truck. That's so impressive that you've built over in Brazil. It'd be nice to have something like that here. I think it might be a bit big for the roads, but it looked wonderful. Assume it's sort of a military surplus device. I thought you had a tank, actually. That would have made quite an interesting position of the gun turret for the tanks. But anyway, all really good. On the PA, Brian was showing the PA. The Polish amplifier is like that as well. Several of us have got that one, and each side of it will give out about 50 watts to 70 watts with very good shoulders, and that's the one we use. I'm using up in Bolton, and basically, instead of combining them, I think everybody decided to keep one side as a spare and use the other side. That's probably the best to do, because if you use both of them and combine them, you're going to have to get rid of twice the heat over effectively the same area of the heatsink. So that's going to be difficult. And the other thing is, the start of this week I went to the Netherlands, which was nice, right next door to Benno. Well, no, not really. but the distance from the gate at Schiphol to the arrivals lounge was probably about the same sort of distance. It did seem a very long way. It's an amazing, huge airport. So, and I've not been there for a long, long time, so it was good to see. Anyway, I don't have anything else to show, so I'll just say 7-3 to everybody, and hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend. And I'll pass it straight on to Martin. So, G8KOE, round to you, G0MJW.
Right, I think I've got it. Let's make sure there's some sound there. Yep, there was sound there, definitely. Yeah, I like the subtitles as such there, Mike. Very good indeed. And yeah, I should think Peter could get those. And another thing he could get is, which I run a set of meters which just looks at the output of the receiver. So I can see what's coming back, which you've got 3 sizes of meter you can have. I think I've probably shown them before, but see whether we can. Oh, yeah, see, there you go. Let's turn up the and select the microphone going over to this one. So that proved that they do actually work. It's just a standalone little program, which you've got the meter size, and I usually run it as a small meter and stick it down there. But it's funny selecting this side of things and not having the audio sent up. Actually, the main disc obviously is a prime focus. The replacement one is an offset. So the lens, the body that's coming will be on an offset. I'll be using it. So whether it works out, if it doesn't work out, then I'll stick with what I've got. But it's one of those projects I've started now, so I'm going to have to finish. That's all. Yeah, I was quite amazed at everybody's pictures and that truck. Yes, wow, that's nice. As long as I didn't have to drive it. Actually, it's not too bad driving forward. I'm just no good at reversing things. I'm a big mental problem, I think, with that. Being dyslexic, it sort of messes things up when you're looking in mirrors and such like. If you think too much, it all goes haywire. But yeah, all good anyway. But no, another good net, absolutely superb. I look forward to these nets, and I hope you, Peter, are getting ready for some sound later. I can't remember who's next in the net. It's Nick, I think, isn't it? If you're still there, Nick. And yeah, it's interesting on all the different setups, etc. And I'll see if I can run 3/4 next time. Actually, other people have gone off the. Someone else just come on and knocked my signal down a little bit. But anyway. Yeah, I'm getting reasonably hot. It's 27 is my PA at the moment, according to the meters. And in the garage, it's sitting at 12 degrees. That gives you some sort of idea. I think I'm going to have problems cooling the PA in the garage during the summer, but we'll worry about that when that comes round. Right, round to you there, Nick. And I'll say 7-3s to everybody. And I want to check the chat. I have a habit of not checking it all. I can see someone's just posted something up there. It doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't, does it? Still do 3.7 here, Martin. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I hadn't thought that with a tank. Yeah, I like it. That's fine. Totally. It's probably better. Yeah, I've got the little program that runs the chat, which scrolls it up, but it's so small I can hardly see it with my eyes. But anyway, let's put up a test card so as I know what's coming back, and I can see on the meter that the audio is still there. And it's a good little program, I think that. I always thought that a meter would be nice included in on the various receive programs, but now I found this remote one. You can sort of point it where you like, output of OBS if you want to, or output of one receiver or another receiver. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle, aren't I? 73 to all from G8KOE.
Yeah, okay, Martin. Yeah, okay. Let's check my audio. Yeah, okay, Martin, fine. Very good. I've gone back to 3/4, so improve my video quality a little bit. Yeah, all very interesting this afternoon. Oh, I didn't say, yes, afternoon to you, Brian. I think it's the first time I've seen you on the satellite, so congratulations. As you say, what are we, about 35, 40 miles apart, but we're actually using what, 44,000 miles? Yeah, up to the satellite and return again. Yeah, so yeah, amazing, the technology. Yeah, and after that that mobile shack that you've got, Roque, that's very, very, very nice. I wouldn't mind one of those myself. Excellent. And I think I saw an air conditioning unit on the wall there as well. So yeah, very nice indeed. Right, I think that's about it. A lot of people are having trouble with audio this afternoon, so I don't know, Mr. Murphy must have found his way in there somehow. Right, I think that's about it. So I'm going to say cheerio to everybody, and hopefully see you all next time, and pass it round to you, Peter. Hopefully you've got some audio, and keep looking at the chat, just to be on the safe side. Okay, 73 everybody. See you all next time. G4IMO.
Have I got audio? Yes. Okay, apologies for last time. Head hanging shame. What happened? Let's see if we got... It's getting dark in here as well, I think. Lights going. I've been struggling a little bit with receive-wise. My dish, I think, is warming up. When it gets warm, either the LNB, not the LNB, but yes, the LNB or the position is not quite correct, and when it gets warm it tends to not as receive as well, and the pilot signal, I forget which is, goes down to about 5.5 from about 8. It doesn't receive very well anyway, because the potty seems to obscure the LNB, and I could do with a focus a bit DIY and just file the pointer, not even with electric drill. I just filed it manually, and it actually did bring up a dB and a half from just a blunt end. But anyway, regardless. Sorry about the no sound. Sorry to hear it's overshadowing Wisbech, but it's a beautiful blue sunny sky here, and like I said, it's the sunshine that's defocusing my dish a little bit. And it's from Hiscock, Tony Hiscock in Harlech. He supplied the dish to me, Martin. Very nice dish indeed. I think it's Italian dish, and it's aluminium, and it's well made, and you've even got a rack to crank it from I think either left to right or up and down. But it's very good, and it was fun putting it on the gable end. I went up on a tower. Tower pretty too small for both me and the dish, really. So it was a bit of excitement. But I used to do a bit of building, and I used to be on the roofs in my youth, and as a slater, a roofer's assistant, and all good fun. And as I've got older, I've even got wobbly knees, which don't help a lot. It's not that I'm frightened or anything, no way, but it's just my knees tend to wobble a bit, makes things a bit difficult. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Gary's gone now. I think I was having different. I've been having to play. What we do? I've been playing with getting 25 frames a second into NVIDIA Broadcaster, which has been a bit of an issue. It doesn't seem to want to do it. It just naturally defaults to 30 or 60, the US standard. But I mean, if I use the A10 Mini, it'll go to 25 frames or 50 fields. No problem. Only thing is the A10 Mini has only I think 420 colour, although the Pro and the later versions have gone to 422, so that's a better option. And of course you can get one with SDI input. The OB unit, that was fantastic, wasn't it? That's a truck. That's a truck and a half, that is. Dish could be a little bit bigger. Didn't see him online. I couldn't see him live really because, like I said, it was too weak to me. But that's my end rather than his end. But I mean, a little bit bigger dish would be spot on. But yeah, very nice indeed. And the alternative to Pluto, could do with an alternative to Pluto. I blew one up and the remains of it, and it was expensive to replace, so a cheaper alternative. I'll be interested and looking forward to hearing how it gets on. I think it might get on with that. That would be fantastic if you get some success with it. And using the STR Angel for DATV and other hardware as well. So that's quite exciting and quite interesting. Because alternatives is always a good thing, I think. Who knows when Pluto either dies or is not replaced, and we'll be needing something else. Hopefully there will be something by then. I know Raspberry Pis are interesting, of great interest, but they don't encode H.265, and they certainly don't do AV1, which will be the next one along the line. That's about it. I say good afternoon to everybody, with apologies once again for excuses. I played with the mixer. My camera goes into the A10 Mini, and if you reboot the A10 Mini via software or by mains, it drops the audio input, and I hadn't restarted it, and I hadn't noticed, even though the telly was on and I was going to turn it down. I didn't have to turn it down, so I was just rambling away. And I am trying to cure the situation by only having, because I've only got one monitor and it's a bit difficult to see too many things on the screen. So I've got a display port cable coming, so I can plug another monitor into the computer, and hopefully then I'll be able to have a separate monitor for other things, and that other thing will be the screen. Benno, yeah, I've got the with the little viewer and the quick tune. There is a chat pages now. I've engaged that as well now, because that can be on. Stay on top. Keep on top, and that's ticked, so I can at least look at that, glance at that. And of course, I've got my eyes permanently glued on the monitor, on the camera, but actually they're wandering about. It's NVIDIA's eye software. I was saying that NVIDIA actually do Maxima, I think it's called, and that translates your voice into a foreign language as you speak. That's quite exciting. I mean, that's going to have legs. Unfortunately, fairly pointless, because if you can't understand what people are saying who reply to you, then it doesn't very help very much, does it? But there we are. With that, thank you. Catch you again. This is GW Samby's Wife. With again.
Oh, it seems I'm there. Yeah, well, just a quick one from me. I may not be here next week. Daughter's wedding on Saturday, so I'll probably be worse for wear on Sunday. And we are staying overnight at the hotel in the lakes. PAs, yeah, the one I'm using at the moment is the Nokia one, using 2 of the BLF 8G22LS-160, which will probably mean nothing to most of you. But I have got a couple of spares. I've got one of the twin ones, which uses the SA2T21 transistor. But I've also got one of the smaller ones that uses a single BLC 8G22LS450, the one with the little rectangular screening can to one side. They're both modified, ready to go, just in case. I was of the opinion that these might dry up, and knowing my luck, I'll blow one and not be able to replace it. Peter, yeah, subtitles. A while ago, Benno amazed us all with automatic subtitles, and they automatically translated, which was amazing. Yeah, it was done through Google, if I remember correctly. That was before I got onto the transmitting side, Benno, so yeah, I'm not sure exactly on it all. It was way above my head at the time, but I'm learning slowly. I can't say I'm doing very well, but I am learning slowly. Yeah, looking forward to the new internet. It looks like it's going ahead, so that'd be great. Yeah, I've got 2 monitors, Peter. I'll go back to my other camera. So, oh, yeah, I've got one of these £5 ring lights for lighting me up. But I've got a repurposed X-Kitchen TV for one monitor, which is above all the gear. And then I've got the actual computer monitor this side, where I've got OBS running and the multi-viewer, freestream coder, and the monitor. So that's that. Yeah, I am deadly jealous of Rucker's truck. Yeah, I've got a little Vauxhall combo van that I use to go mobile, not for the satellite, but for 2-meter DATV and hopefully 23-centimeter DATV in the too distant future. But I need a new aerial. Oh yeah, you'll have to bear with me on that. When I took my RA in 1978, a written exam, they were aerials. Everything was an aerial. Antennas hadn't been invented. Well, they had, but Mr. Marconi used one, an antenna centrale, which is Italian for a tent pole. He used one of those to hold his aerial up. So I use aerials. Yeah, I know, bar humbug and all that. Right, with that, I think it's round to Ed again, with audio. Papa Yankee 2, Romeo November, Mike 5, Tango X-Ray Juliet.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Mike 5 Tango X-Ray Juliet. This is not B4RN, but PY2RN. Very nice. Peter, yeah, nice audio now. This is the current view of my weather. Is it was very cloudy this morning, but it's clearing. It's clearing now. Temperature around 27 degrees. And, looks the temperature gonna increase up to the 30s again. Yep. Regarding the truck antenna, it's a 1.2 meter diameter offset dish, and it's use it for VSAT on the KA band, Kilo Alpha band. We purchased that. Use it, of course, was a very interesting price, and I think you know, good performance for the elevation that we have from here, which is only 7 degrees. Most of the parts of east coast of Brazil, it's about 7 degrees elevation. It's giving good performance. Rocky wants to replace the potty, the patch feeder, by helix to improve the transmission by, I don't know, maybe 2 dBs, but I'm afraid if he replace the patch feed and put a helix, he may get 2 dBs more on transmission, but he may lose 2 dBs on the reception, so I don't know if it's gonna be a good idea. Anyways, well, glad to see you guys today on the net. Very interesting as usual. Wish you all a great upcoming week and hope to see you next weekend. So I'm not sure if Brian is still around. I'm gonna pass to him. Golf 6 Hotel Fox X-ray. No, sorry, Golf 6 Hotel Fox Sierra. If he's still around, please come up. If not, goes to Beno. Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-ray. Yeah, Beno, I just copied the date from your entry to my, so I just put January there. Okay, 7312 from Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Bye-bye.
Well, I left a nice gap, I would say. Well, but Brian warned us that he was only doing 1 over, so he kept to his promise. Hey, why? Is my mute not working? Yes, it is. Great. Yeah, to talk about subtitle. I played around with it. Also, I would like to have some kind of automatic translation, something incorporated in ports down or right, to be able to understand all those languages I cannot understand. Although I can speak Dutch, German, and English, my Chinese is very bad, and there are some days I cannot understand Spanish. Hi. But French and Spanish and those other languages are kind of out of my date. Although my South African starts to improve every day because of some colleagues I now have in South Africa, from South Africa, which work together in my company. But subtitling is nice. It appears that subtitle in the same language, so subtitle in English when I'm talking English, or Dutch if I'm talking Dutch. That's not a big problem, so maybe those guys from Wales or Scotland or Ireland can use subtitle for us normal English guys, at least the guys who speak normally can understand some English, but well, we cope with it. Or for translation, that's also a possibility, and I have used it, but it takes you up to a site somewhere in America where it does on-the-fly translation, and then it will put it over on top of it, and even get it spot on the right frame. but obviously that takes time. My round time was up to 30 seconds with a good internet, and 30 to 60 seconds is quite normal. And we already complain about the 5 seconds loss in sending the data from my audio from my microphone to my to the output of the Pluto, because that's basically the 5 seconds. So the problem is the adding the it in the well, the translation takes too much time for live transmissions. But again, it works. I have played with it, especially on presentations. It's good to use, because most of the presentations are one way anyway, and maybe a good idea that we're starting to use it there. But the last time I played with it, I need to do some kind of temporary log on. I needed to log on, and it will be in a fee after 1 month, after 30 days trial period, and I haven't used it after that, so the trial period is gone off without extra payment. But it will cost you money if you're going to use that American translation site, which is somewhere along the line from Google, obviously, as most of those things are. But I think the universal translator they used in Enterprise or Star Trek or whatever, they will come on soon, I believe, and I think Tom will be one of the inventors soon, when he bothers trying to speak any German. I know he can speak Dutch, but his Spanish might be as well same as my own problem, Tom. Passing it on to Papa Yankee 2 Sierra Alpha Tango Rogue, and I think we'll manage to play on with a lot of things. By the way, you just talked about watt meters, power meters. This is homebrew Arduino type with one of those 10 gig frequency detectors, capable, if I don't let it fall down, if I don't break it, it's capable in doing up to 10 gig watt meter with the right resistance. What the attenuator, you can obviously use it up to whatever power you want, up to 10 gig, and it will be available. I'm going to well, it's almost ready. I know some people are using it, and that's always a good idea, and you can see quite a bit of examples on that, and even buy it online already on YouTube, or sorry, on eBay or on AliExpress. Okay, well, that's all for now. Have a nice weekend for what it remains, and hope to meet you again next week. From Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray, and microphone on to Rogue, to Brazil, from and a nice, obviously nice setup and a great car, and I think it will be a nice base for a lot of contest stations to come. Papa Yankee 2 Sierra Alpha Tango, Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray.
Okay, I hope, let me see if I can hear my voice. Okay. See if I can hear my voice. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I think Gary make important observation was my antenna. It is 1.2 meters. Really, was not 90 centimeters, but I only corrected that. And I would like to show you one more thing, guys, because I have this problem for a long time, and you may have the same problem and I do, which is transmitting using Pluto. Okay, let me put the other camera here. Okay, this is my mobile camera. Okay, what I'm using is SDR Angel. You can see here I'm using for transmitting, even if I have, I'm sorry, maybe it's too much movement for the transmission. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, let me see. All right. So I do have also two Plutos. You can see here those two Plutos. I have a small power amplifier just to be able to surpass the losses on the cable. My power amplifier is on the top of the truck. I have here also a filter, a 2.4 filter. This is always good because you avoid the other frequencies and you don't want to be transmitted. Okay, and I have some combiners. So I can use also a Pluto and this Blade RF. This is a Blade RF board with a small PA here, and so with the truck I made this setup so I can use several others SDR devices at the same time. This is line. The other one is another Blade RF. What else I'd like to say regarding that? Yes, Eduardo just supervised everything. He never escalated on top of the truck. He just supervised. It's okay. It's his job anyway. Yeah, thank you guys for listening to me. Again, let me talk about the Pluto problem. You may guys can help me on that. I figure out the Pluto when you're transmitting with low SR, like 333 kilosamples per second. You have the Pluto itself back off 6 dB from the power output. Since I put my amplifier gains to be able to transmit 1 megasample also, what happens, I cannot use the maximum power of my PA because of that. I can put more amplifiers on the path on the way, but it will risk to overpower my amplifier when I'm using 1 megasample. So the Pluto, when you use 1 megasamples and above, usually it unleash all the power, which is 0 dB. When you use a anything below 1 megasample, it back off 6 dB. So that's why I'm using the SDR Angel, because I don't have this problem, and it looks like it's working fine. Looks like it's working fine here. Okay, this is one thing I'd like to comment with you. You may have this problem. It's an old problem, everyone knows. but it took me a little while, and that's it. Okay, this is all for this week. Thank you guys. I don't know if Gary is gonna get him back. Let me see here on my spreadsheet. Maybe Gary Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. If not, bye bye. See you guys next week.
Hi everybody. Let's see if I have voice. Yeah, okay, there's voice. Okay, sorry, I'm jumping a bit in here. I'm a bit late to the party today. Thanks there. It's a Papa Yankee 2 set, I think. Yeah, sorry guys, I missed half the net. I was actually on the narrowband side, and we had a little South African QSO party competition running there for an hour. Just trying to get a few more South Africans that have their narrowband set up more on the satellite, and it was a nice success. It was a nice little pile up. I had like 35 contacts that I made in that hour, so it was loads of fun. But anyways, yeah, so I've missed everybody, so hi everybody. I can see on the list who was on there, but I've got no idea what you guys spoke about. I'll have a look at the YouTube stream, or video a bit later on. Just wanted to add one thing, Martin, if you're still around, G8 KOE. I did those changes to the quick tune that you requested about changing the font size and the fonts and all that. I did submit a pull request to Rob a couple of days ago, and I saw he merged it yesterday. So there's a new quick tune version, 1.30, which basically allows you to set the font sizes and the different fonts and that. And then you can it also saves the position of the chat. So if you set up a nice big font and you have the window in one corner and you close it, it'll come up and it'll keep the size and everything like that. Just in case you haven't seen that yet, so give that a try, and let me know if you have any issues. I'll put those changes into the Longman client as well, but that I haven't finished that up yet. But the quick tune one has been sorted. Okay, I'll be back on the next net next week again. Sorry that I'm late and that I missed it, and I hope it was a good one. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the net's done and Gary's gone. So I'll just, like, what does Gary say? I'll throw it up in the air and we'll see who catches it. Okay, hope everybody has a great week. Nice seeing you guys. And 73 from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf.
Right, I better say a big thank you. I was looking to see if there's an update. I better say a big thank you. Mute the sound. Wasn't sure the link to find it to download it. I'm not as au fait as a lot. I'll turn the light off, so increase the lighting a little bit. So if there was a link that you could stick up for me to download the new quick tune, I wouldn't say no. But I'll go and hunt and see if I can find it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, most appreciated, Tom. Really is. Thanks for your time. Oh dear. Yep, I'll go and download it as soon as I sign. So thanks to everybody. 7 threes. And yeah, you didn't miss anything. Nothing important from me. JKOE, test card, and disappear to go and do a download.